Hello and welcome guys. My name is Largs, and for this video I'm gonna share you guys on how am I mocking GraphQL requests in NextJS using React testing library, this one, and Jest. So for the sake of this tutorial, I already built um, two repositories, one for the front end side and one for the back end side. So if we're gonna click the link here, this is what it looks like. So as you can see, there is a loading screen before the movies actually gets out, and we also have genres page and directors page. So you can add in here as well as the movie. Also at the genres, you can also add the genre. So we have a color picker here and the name. So yeah, so the stack that I've used on the front end side is chakraui, TypeScript. It's also bootstrapped using NextJS, and I also used a simple state management tool called Sustand. So if you're not familiar with Sustand, it's like an alternative to React's use context or React Redux. So I like this library because it's a zero config library to handle complex states. So first, I'm gonna show you um, the project setup. So let's get to it. So we have, this is the project structure actually. Let's just touch the changes. Okay. So this is the project directory. We have a GitHub folder. We don't have to care about that. The next folder also we don't have to care about that because this is generated by the npm run build or npm run dev. VS Code. I actually added this by preference because I want to organize imports. So for instance, let's check one file in here. So as you can see, this add director model uses a lot of libraries and it's alphabetically ordered. I mean alphabetically arranged, and it's because of this configuration. Also, the edit format and save. I think this is pretty straightforward. Next is the components. This is the building blocks of our pages. So next is the GraphQL. This is where mutation and queries lies. So actually there is a single exports right now, but I think this will get updated from time to time because we also need an update director, a delete director, and so on and so forth. So I like it to put it that way. And yeah, as well for the queries, the client is the root source of our follow provider. So this link is what we are gonna use. So yeah, um, we have here the some sort of documentation for the schemas and documentations, and these are the mutations and queries that we're gonna be using to show in here. Okay, so right now don't worry about the GraphQL, I mean the backend repository because we don't have to, we're not gonna be using that. But for anyone who is curious, this is built using Nest.js, and yeah, you can visit this anytime you want. I'll drop the links below. And where were we? For the project setup, right? So next would be the types. So these types are automatically generated also. So we can actually delete this and run the GraphQL codegen in the scripts. So I actually added the script here from GraphQL codegen. So if you're not familiar with the GraphQL codegen, it's a GraphQL code generator. I mean, it generates the types that we can use in our applications. So we also need the codegen YML on our root directory so that the GraphQL codegen will follow it. So for first is the schema, the API URL. You just have to change this one to your GraphQL URL, and also I've added a plugins. So these plugins are individually installed. So as you can see in the package JSON, I have three additional packages for GraphQL codegen, and for this line, this is where your types will lie. I mean, will be generated. So let's try to run it. Generate types. So it's currently running. Yeah. So this is the types that was generated, and we actually seeing an error here because there is a rule in ESLint that there shouldn't be unused variable. So we just have to delete this to. And actually there are some changes because I have a change earlier on the backend side. So yeah, cool, isn't it? You just have to save it. And what else? So what are the importance of these types? So the importance of these types is for us to better type check mutations and queries. So let's try to. So for instance, on this one, the movie list component, it uses use query, and you just have to pass in a movie here, and yeah, you can type check it better now. I mean, you can use the IntelliSense to check the property of the returned variable. So what else? Um, I think we're done with the GraphQL. Node modules, don't have to worry about that. The pages, we have 3 pages: index, genres, and directors. So the index page is the movies page, and genres and directors as well. The public, this is where the static um, asset lies, but we don't have to worry about this for now. So store, this is where the state management lies. So as I've said earlier, I am using substand. So for example, this two properties and these two methods, it can be used anywhere in our app. You just have to call it. So let's try to look for some examples. So for instance, this add director, you can use it in here. You just have to import it on top of our component. So it's zero config, right? And yeah, so for the sake of the testing, we have to install these plugins. I'll just have to copy it. npmi testing library justdom. So justdom will be used to extend our matchers, testing library React, the core testing library that we are using, and also testing library user event, wherein we can test user events such as button clicks, hovers, double clicks, etc. We also need Jest and TS Jest to be finally TS Jest. So yeah, just have to install it and wait. Okay, it's installing. Okay, next for the storage, the styles, the custom styles lies in here because chakraui has limitations also, but we can configure it using the theme. So config styles components is under these 3 files. So utils is actually helper functions that we can be used in the entire app, and that's the folder structure, and anything in here are just configuration files. So we're done with the installation. Next up, for the next video, I mean, we'll be testing the success state of this page. So thanks for watching.